Okay, we're short of a quorum. 2 people short, but we're going to go ahead with the meeting. And you can do your presentations, and Ann and I will vote on them, and then whatever paperwork needs to be done, I can follow up, get signatures, and let the projects continue, because I know a lot of people. I know the Lauros are waiting for Mr. Delagro to do the pool. Mr. Restuccia is waiting for to complete his, to get going again on his building. Sandra Castellarian wants to move into her house. And the gentleman with the IDA and Zero Wolcott, which Jay's has on, I know they're looking to get going. So we're gonna move ahead with the meeting anyways. And I'll instruct the other members to, it's being videoed, so tell them watch the video, and if you're in agreement, then we can get signatures. So paperwork's gonna be delayed until I can get together with them, but I can work with the building inspector to get all the issues resolved that need to be resolved. All right, so if nobody's got an objection to that, we'll move ahead. First item on the agenda is well, hold off the minutes. Roll call, yeah. Might as well do that. Member Ann Raponi?
Here.
And I'm Andrew DeSantis, chair. The rest are all absent. Okay, so we'll skip the approval of minutes. You can hold that over in the next meeting. DEP file number 0610682, 29 Gilbert Ave, pole installation. You're going to speak on it, Cosmo, once you come up to the mic. Just push the button till you see it turn red around the circle. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I ain't much of a board here. The only, I'm here to talk for the Lauros. We're going to build a pool in the rear yard. We'd like to build a pool in the rear yard. The pool is 12 by 22. It's only 3 to 4 feet deep. It's really a play pool. A few streets, well, 3 or 4 streets up the road was John Avenue. I built one there 10, 12 years ago, and it's the same pool. So, Cosmo Pool's been around a long time. I think Ann knows it anyway, and we do good work. The Lauro people are hard-working people. They're just looking to have something in their backyard so they can enjoy. And it's not asking
Okay,
for something.
well, you in agreement?
I am in agreement.
We'll move it forward. I'll let Benny know to issue the building permit, so the pool permit, so you can get going.
Thank you very much.
I'll email Benny in the morning, Cosmo.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, like I said, the paperwork will be slow, that's all. DEP file number 0610681, 680 Revere Beach Boulevard. Mr. Restuccia, Jay, Benny was going to speak.
Good evening. My name is Nichholas Restuccia. I reside at 4 Barnsley Road in Linfield, and this is Jay Rose.
Yeah, we got
He's
updated plans in. Yeah, it changed a little bit from what he originally
Okay.
had proposed. So just tell us,
Well,
same thing
basically-
you told me a little while ago.
Basically, we're seeking approval to put a garage under the house. The garage will be under the house, not attached as we originally thought. We want to put it under. And Jay has drawn all the necessary elevations. Go ahead.
Originally, we had proposed a garage on the end of his existing house at 680 Revere Beach Boulevard. In the process of going over the construction, we decided to eliminate the garage at the back of the property and utilize the space in the basement for the garage. The maneuver is about the same, but it does entail allowing for flood venting. We figured the calculation for the square footage of the garage to be just under 500, just under 800 square feet, which would allow us to install four of the flood vents. We've also included a deck, which is going to be supported on either side of the garage door. I think this is a better solution, less impact, and is minor grading in the rear of the property.
And the other thing they're doing is the new pavement that's going to go down, it's all going to be pervious pavement,
That's correct.
so the water can flow down through it. I don't know if you wanted to add a little bit more, Nick, as to the whole story, how you started out,
No,
you know, it's up to you.
I don't think we need to add the whole story.
Okay, all right. Any issues, Ann?
I have a question, Andy. How many autos will the garage house?
I'm sorry?
I didn't hear how many autos will be housed in the garage.
Two. They're one
Just-
behind the other.
Okay, just
because
two?
The house is long ways. It's 28 wide, but it's 50 deep. So you could actually, in tandem, one behind the other.
Oh, so they'll be back to back, piggyback?
Piggyback.
Okay,
tandem.
thank you.
Right.
Did you see the house, Ann? Have you been down the Boulevard? Go down to the Point of Pines, you'll see, well, I wouldn't even call it half a house now.
Half a house, a quarter of a house.
A quarter of the house.
What,
Got a couple walls standing and,
just what happened was, we originally planned the renovation, but when they went in and started demoing it, they found dry rot, inferior framing, mold, the bathroom floor is ready to fall through. So the contractor was here, said, I think you just have to, bite the bullet and take more of this down and go from there. And now it's just,
Thank you.
well,
okay, so you don't have any objection to me giving them a go-ahead?
No
with the-
objection whatsoever.
Okay, and then we'll follow up with the paperwork. Okay, thanks, Ann. Moving on, the next one is DEP file 061-0680, Wolcott Road. You're gonna speak on that, Jay? That looked pretty straightforward.
This project is a construction of a single-family house on a vacant or buildable lot on Wolcott Road. The entire property is within the 100-year flood storm, so we're going to allow again for flood venting, which is equal to the square footage of the proposed house. We have a deck that we've proposed on the rear of the home. It's an 8x10 deck, and the grading is to remain substantially consistent to what is there presently before the construction. And also, there's been a note added with the crawl space to be or at the same grade as the existing ground today.
Any questions on this one, Ann? It's by William Settipane. Billy's built other houses in the floodplain. He's always done a good job.
I don't have any questions on this one,
Okay,
Andy.
so again, I'll tell Billy to issue the building permit, and then we can follow up with the order. Just sort of that'd be good to give those standard things in the order, erosion control, things of that nature. Yeah, I'll even send you the order before it's signed, so at least you'll have it. All right. Next one's a request for termination of applicability, 705 North Shore Road. Gentlemen?
Good evening. Barry Fogel from Keegan Whirlin on behalf of the applicant, removal specialists. As the request for determination states, this is a project that's being directed by DEP to do a superficial investigation of an area 100 by 60 feet at the property. The plan is to cordon it off, and asbestos abatement contractor will inspect it visually and collect surface samples, send those to a lab. Based on those results, a determination will be made of how much material needs to be scraped off the surface within the top foot and properly contained and transferred to a facility in New Hampshire through DEP's asbestos abatement permitting.
Oh, it's an asbestos problem.
Yeah,
I
there were,
didn't realize that.
yeah, there were roll-offs stored there, and if you remember the James Hook facility fire in downtown Boston,
Yep,
the applicant was a contractor who would collect debris and do asbestos disposal, and the Boston Fire Department kept telling him, get these roll-offs off the site because they wanted space for firefighting equipment. So he brought the roll-offs with wet, obviously from firefighting, but smoldering material. And DEP followed up and said, you know, that's supposed to be covered roll-offs, you know, according to the letter of the rules. But he said if I had covered them with tarps, they would have burned. So they required an inspection of the property to see if any asbestos-containing material might have been released to the surface out of an abundance of caution. So the idea is to look at the surface, visually inspect it, collect soil samples. Should anything come back, it would be removed and disposed of. So because, as you know, the site is flat, the idea is to do a hand inspection of the bank. We have the wetlands consultant, Greg Hockmuth, who prepared the RDA, has a detail of erosion controls that probably are typical of what you're used to seeing that would be put in place
yep.
on the bank and on the crest of the bank. So there are two details in there. One would be a silt fence at the top of the bank as appropriate, and the other would be to put, we can put silt fence and hay bale, or straw bale rather, at the bottom. Give her a copy as well, Greg.
Okay, two details on one sheet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's
I was gonna say, it
one,
looked like the same thing.
right.
The idea was to just use the silt fence. However, if we needed to put in something a little bit more substantial, we'd go with the straw bales and silt fence at the toe of the slope. But being out there and inspecting the site, I truly think the silt fence, if properly trenched in, should be enough.
Okay.
Trying to limit the disturbance on the bank, obviously. The idea is that none of the resource areas, present lands subject to coastal storm flowage or the buffer zone to the bank will be extensively disturbed, but out of normal requirements for an RDA, just to ensure no harm to the water body, these kinds of erosion controls will be put in. And then they would be removed off-site as part of out of an abundance of caution. They'd be disposed of along with any of the soil that, as asbestos containing material, not to have to play games with it, so.
How long of a process do you think?
Well, it's going to start, after it's set up, there will be, the public would see, if anyone looked or saw, would be the typical, people in Tyvek suits with respirators, but there will
Yes,
be.
that's getting people nervous.
Yeah, there'll be orange tape, but there will be a wheel wash station for any
Okay,
equipment.
good.
All water will be collected and disposed of off-site, no water discharged to the water body or down the bank. So there'll probably be a couple of days of setup and the inspection and sampling, then waiting for the lab results to come back, and then a day of any excavation or scraping at the surface, and then regrading. So total would be a few days.
I forget what it said in your application. Are you doing borings first?
No, it would be hand sampling. There won't be
Hand
any,
samples,
yeah,
hand
no
augers.
augering, nothing deeper than a foot.
Okay.
Yeah. So the total time might be within a period of a few weeks, but it might be days here and there. The work, if you were to give your approval with a negative RDA, so to speak, right? No further filing required. That will be submitted with the application to DEP. They already have the initial notice. They then would sign off and give the authorization to work to occur in August.
Okay. All right, so I think we're in agreement for a negative determination on this?
I have no objection.
Okay.
I would say as far as inspections go, if you're prone to go look at projects, this is a site where you would not be able to get on the site because of the requirements.
Yep, no, I understand.
Yeah. Any other questions from me? I can answer?
No, I don't think there's any other questions. It's just you know.
Go right ahead.
Only two of us, we really don't have a quorum, as I said, but we'll sign it tonight, then I gotta chase down a couple of other members and.
Yeah, that's
get
not a
it signed.
timing issue, because as I say, the work isn't scheduled to be signed off by DEP and started till August, so we have a few
Okay,
weeks.
so, all right, so I got almost a whole month, so I should send it to you, Barry?
Yes, please.
Okay, will do.
Thank you for your communications ahead of time. I appreciated your
Yep.
information from you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next item, certificate of compliance for DEP file 0610661, 17 Pearl Ave.
Good evening. Looking for an issuance of certificate of compliance, like you said, for 17 Pearl Ave. It's new construction. The house is completely built now, and the as-built plans were submitted from Rick Salvo over at Engineering Alliance.
Yeah, do you see any objection to that? I didn't inspect the house, but I was sent pictures. Everything looks beautiful. If you go down by 17 Pearl Ave, it's definitely a addition to the neighborhood. That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
A
I
nice house.
respect your opinion, Andy. If it's okay
Okay.
with you, it's okay with me.
All right, so it's going to be a delay on the actual certificate, but I'll tell Benny, go ahead and issue your certificate of occupancy, so there's no issue.
Great. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, motion to adjourn at 7:21.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Just from a timing standpoint, like 3 weeks, 3 days, what, I know.
Within a week or so.
Okay, perfect.
Depends how long it takes me to chase down the other members. Get 2 more signatures, that's all I need. But, you know, I'll send an email to Benny tomorrow morning for your C of O from the building department. You know, then it's just a matter of closing the loop at the registry. Are you selling the property or? No, I thought you were moving in. Yeah, I thought it was to be your residence, yeah. Yep. Okay, all set.